The business is this. One of my employees has stolen an item of extraordinary value from me, and I want it recovered.
That courier Benny wasted back in Good Springs. You're supposed to be dead.
Who's this snake that put bullets in your head? Did he have cause, or...
Where's the platinum chip?
Don't have it. Benny stole it right before he stabbed us in the back. He's probably back at the strip by now, laughing at me.
So he robbed you? Robbing a courier's low. Hope this shithead knows what he's in for. From both of us. What's his name?
Benny. Or a checkered suit.
Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
What's up guys, Buddy here and welcome back for another episode of Fallout New Vegas. We are companionless. I know, it's so lonely out here, right? But yeah, what is the Securitrons doing?
The recent disturbance at the Tops has been resolved. Do not be afraid to patronize the Tops.
Okay, I probably should go patronize a bunch of the casinos and get all their money, but that is something I really do need to do at some point. I'm sure I'll figure it out. I haven't actually gambled on PC yet, which is weird considering we're like 70 episodes into the PC series, but yeah. I haven't gambled yet. The last time I gambled was in the Sierra Madre, which of course was still on console, if you can believe it. Alright, so we're back. I don't care. I don't care. We're back in the penthouse of the Lucky 38. And we are going to talk to Mr. House because there's a lot of revelations to talk about, I believe, and I think he's going to give us something to do. If not, we'll just go check out Gamora.
I take it you've come to deliver the platinum chip?
I have some questions to ask first.
I'll be happy to satisfy your every curiosity once the platinum chip has been delivered.
You're not being very cooperative. I'd like to discuss payment.
Our terms were clear. Now that you have the chip in your possession, any attempt to renegotiate payment would be tantamount to blackmail.
I still have some questions.
This is not the time for Q&A. Kindly hand over the chip.
You want the chip? Fine, here it is.
Such a small thing, isn't it? And yet so capacious, so very dear. Decades of hiring salvagers out west to search for this little relic in the ruins of a place called Sunnyvale. Back then, anyway. That's where the chip was printed, on October 22nd, 2077. It was to have been hand-delivered to me here at the Lucky 38 the next day. But the bombs fell first. Suffice it to say, the delivery was never made.
What does the chip do exactly?
Yes, so far as you've seen, all it does is change the picture on the Securitrons' face screens from policemen to soldiers. But as you'll see, some things are more easily shown than told. Take the elevator all the way down to the bottom level, and you'll see what I mean. Don't worry, you'll like what you see. We have much to accomplish, you and I.
I always remember this place because
the demonstration area, if you would.
I always used to get my binoculars.
I expect you're well familiar with my Securitrons by now. The titanium alloy housing that protects its electronic core deflects small arms and shrapnel easily enough. Its X-25 Gatling laser, produced to spec by Glassinghouse Inc., is deadly against soft targets at medium range. And for close-range suppression, or crowd control, the Securitron is armed with a 9mm submachine gun. All of this you probably already knew. What you did not know is that these are the Securitron's secondary weapons. All this time, my Securitrons have had to get by running the Mark I operating system, which lacked software drivers for their primary weapons. Today, with the delivery of the Platinum chip, all that changes. Behold, for the first time, Securitrons running the Mark II OS. The M235 missile launcher gives the Securitron the ability to engage ground and air targets at significantly longer ranges. And a rapid-fire G-28 grenade launcher ensures the Securitron is deadly in close-range engagements. The software upgrade also includes drivers for the Securitron's highly sophisticated on-board auto-repair systems. Altogether, the Mark II software upgrade confers a 235% increase in combat effectiveness per unit. The city of New Vegas finally has soldiers worthy of protecting it. Return to the penthouse now. We have much to discuss.
Finally, a discussion
Trips
with
to
him.
the basement are rarely so educational, don't you think? I've since broadcast the upgrade to every Securitron in range of my transmitters, and I must say, it's causing quite a stir down on the Strip.
Why show your hand like that? The Securitrons on the Strip will reveal everything in public. Now your enemies know what you're up to.
I'm surprised you can still underestimate me after everything you've seen. I haven't shown my hand. I've shown one card. I've given my enemies a single provocative datum upon which to fixate. They have no idea what other cards I'm holding. It's a strong hand, believe me. I dealt it to myself.
You think your Securitrons can defeat the Legion? Easy. And the NCR? Possibly easy. But at the same time?
Why would I want to go to war against the NCR? They're my best customers. If their leaders weren't scheming to steal Vegas out from under me, I'd have no troubles with the NCR at all. The foundation is laid. My Securitrons on the Strip are upgraded, and those at the fort ready for action. Now it's just a matter of adjusting the attitudes of some lesser groups while we wait for Caesar's Legion to attack Hoover Dam.
I've come here to kill you. I'd like to ask some questions.
What did you want to discuss?
Ooh, talking, are you? You do know Kaiser is dead, don't you?
By my calculations, his death will affect the shape of the battle for Hoover Dam minimally, if at all. The Legion's aggression will outlive Caesar. Indeed, they'll try to take the dam as a tribute to his memory. Given a year, they'd have him deified. But by then, the Legion will be breaking down, riven by internal conflicts, a monster consuming itself. It's irrelevant. In the short term, the Legion is still monster enough that defeating it will make me look powerful indeed. What else did you want to discuss?
That is an interesting take. That is an interesting take. All they are useful now is as an enemy. Interesting. Well, there you go. There's my opinion of the Legion now for you guys. All they're useful for is as an enemy. I'm surprised you haven't asked what became of Benny.
That's because he ceased to be relevant when you recovered the Platinum chip. Revenge doesn't interest me. Progress does. Sorry to deny you a moment of primate triumph, but you'll have to go elsewhere to sound your barbaric yawp. What else did you want to discuss?
Can you just give me this house? As I call him, Kaiser. Can you just give me a little moment of satisfaction? How do you think the NCR will defend the Hoover Dam?
General Oliver's strategy, or tunnel vision, as I like to call it, has been to mass troops at Hoover Dam. He wants to outfight the Legion in a straightforward slugging match, and then, when they rout, pursue and destroy them in detail. A crushing, decisive victory of this sort would overshadow the tactical ingenuity of Chief Hanlon's defense 4 years ago, you see.
That's when, the booby-trapped Boulder City plan. What was your plan for the dam?
A good deal should be obvious to you by now. I won't spoil the rest by talking out of turn.
Let's see then. Securitrons obviously will help. I assume you let the NCR destroy partially the Legion, and then when they're pursuing the Legion to destroy them, you'll attack the NCR. But you don't want to do too much damage to the NCR. So perhaps just build up enough Securitrons at the dam to intimidate the NCR to back down. I don't think they'll go without a fight, mind. Interesting. Let's talk about something else.
What else did you want to discuss?
I should let you know that I planted a surveillance device in one of the terminals. Money's money.
Yes, I know. It was detected immediately and deactivated, let's see, 39.735 seconds after you planted it. You thought I wouldn't notice?
No, money. You can understand progress, right? It's not that you don't pay me enough or anything, it's just... This is awkward. Can we move past this? Please? Can we talk about something?
The next step is to add the Boomers' considerable firepower to my growing arsenal, or at the very least, ensure their neutrality.
The Boomers are already vowed to help me out. You and the NCR seem to have this really common thing that I'm a part of you. I've been historically known to switch my allegiances at a moment's notice.
Well done. The Boomers' firepower may prove an advantage when the battle for Hoover Dam comes around. Your next assignment won't take you far. It concerns the Omertas and their den of vice, Gomorrah. As the decisive encounter between the bull and the bear looms close, my concerns about the Omertas have grown. I've never expected loyalty, mind you. A reliably underhanded tribe is just as constant to deal with as one that always runs true. But that's just it. Lately, the Omerta's cooperative silence has been deafening. Not a single complaint. They're up to something.
I'll check into the Omerta. I can never say this word. The Omertas.
The Omertas are fanatically loyal to each other. Still, among any group, one can find the occasional degenerate. Gomorrah's receptionist happens to be one. For years, she passed on whispers of what was taking place at the casino in exchange for payment. A few months ago, she clammed up. Odds are she's scared. But I've had no way of approaching her. Start with her.
See, this is really off topic, but I'm really interested to know whether House has the most dialogue in the game. There's a couple of characters in DLCs where I can kind of see, maybe they do. But there's so much shit that House has. Oh no, we have a quest that I hate. Don't tread on the bear. Looks like we're going to be heading back to Hoover Dam to have a quick word with, Lisa O'Malley. Well, the NCR's asking me to investigate the Omertas, right? I mean, this can't go wrong. I have a feeling I'm about to set off a lot of different factions.
What do you have to report about the Omertas?
Nothing yet. I have some questions.
I suppose the Omertas can wait a few minutes.
Yeah, the more you know. A woman named Emily asked me to bug one of your data terminals.
One of the followers of the apocalypse, I'm sure. They're curious about me.
As am I.
Good luck planting a surveillance device here in the Lucky 38 without my knowing about it. What else did you want to discuss?
Well, I'm glad you're not hostile about it. So, you recruited the Omertas as one of the three families?
Yes, though at the time they called themselves the Slitherkin. A vicious clan, not that that's changed exactly. They were nomads, capable fighters, but their specialty was betrayal. They'd invite travelers into their yurts, drug them, murder, or enslave them. They took pride in their craft. I don't think Omertas saw other people as people at all. Everyone else was just prey. They reminded me of a certain criminal element Vegas used to attract. I told them some stories, gave them some clothes, and they ran with it.
Okay. Let's talk about something else.
What else did you want to discuss?
What are your plans for New Vegas?
I've resurrected Vegas, spirit intact. What I need now is the ability to enforce my rightful claim. Not just against Caesar's Legion, by the way. In fact, the NCR is a more present and insidious threat.
How do you intend to enforce your claim on the city?
To enforce, one must have force, a position of strength. Years ago, when I detected NCR scouts roaming the Mojave, I could tell from their uniforms that these were no mere tribesmen. I knew it was only a matter of time before an army appeared to take control of the dam, and I knew my Securitrons wouldn't be enough to oppose them. And so I recruited the 3 families. Vegas belongs to me because I mustered enough strength to bring the NCR to the bargaining table.
Wasn't the NCR's army big enough to defeat your Securitrons and the 3 families?
Indeed it was, and still is, but not without taking significant casualties. Would Kimball and Oliver have traded the lives of hundreds of soldiers for absolute control of Hoover Dam? Oh, yes. They weren't afraid of me. They were afraid of Caesar, that attacking me would leave them vulnerable to a Legion offensive. And so they negotiated. Not out of the kindness of their hearts, as they try to make it seem, because the calculus of power left no other choice.
What were the terms of your treaty with the NCR?
NCR forces were permitted to occupy Hoover Dam and establish a military base at McCarran Airport. Well, it used to be one. They recognized my sovereignty over the Vegas Strip and agreed to supply electricity and water once their engineers repaired the dam. Written into the treaty were provisions that the NCR do nothing to prevent its soldiers and civilians from visiting the Strip. That's how I harnessed the NCR to my endeavor. Their occupation has been the engine of my growing economy.
Would you go to war with the NCR?
The salient issue is that they will go to war with me, if given the chance. There's just one reason why the NCR hasn't contrived some outrage to justify invading the Strip. Caesar's Legion. The final battle between those 2 armies is fast approaching. I can't afford to let either side win on their terms. What else did you want to discuss?
Interesting. Say you were to keep control of New Vegas. What happens next?
New Vegas is more than a city. It's the remedy to mankind's derailment. The city's economy is a blast furnace in which can be forged the steel of a new rail line running straight to a new horizon. What is the NCR? A society of people desperate to experience comfort, ease, luxury. A society of customers. With all that money pouring in, give me 20 years and I'll reignite the high technology development sectors. 50 years and I'll have people in orbit. 100 years and my colony ships will be heading for the stars to search for planets unpolluted by the wrath and folly of a bygone generation.
It is that speech that makes me love this character and love that vision. And god damn it, if I didn't distrust this character as much as I did, would I be so optimistic for the future of this series. But because I am so distrustful of him not becoming corrupted with power, I just don't feel like it's gonna happen. But that speech right there makes me so hopeful for the future of this series, because that speech right there is freaking awesome. Don't go away. What do you mean connection lost? I'm praising you here. Anyway, that speech is so awesome. I love it. I love it. Ugh, but on to the negative sides. You'd rule Vegas as some kind of dictator?
I prefer the term autocrat. I would rule as a chief executive. I would not answer to a board of directors or any other entity. Nothing to impede progress. If you want to see the fate of democracies, look out the windows.
That's such a good justification. He has the answers, you know? I know, the one thing is, the plan is so good with House. He has such a great plan. I love his plan. Absolutely 100%. His plan is awesome. To rebuild society using a massive fluctuating economy that centers around Vegas. To use the NCR as the customers and to bring them into Vegas and to stimulate the economy from Vegas. And using that, it stimulates capitalism and investment in technology and products, which would lead to advancement in technology, like House is saying, which would eventually, his plan is to find a planet somewhere that is inhabitable and not sullied by nuclear radiation. It's awesome. It's such a great plan. I love it so much. But what is to keep you from abusing your power?
My judgment. I have no interest in abusing others, just as I have no interest in legislating or otherwise dictating what people do in their private time. Nor have I any interest in being worshipped as some kind of machine god messiah. I am impervious to such corrupting ambitions. But autocracy? Firm control in the hands of a technological and economic visionary? Yes, that Vegas shall have. What else did you want to discuss?
There is one problem with House. And that biggest problem I have with House is Freeside. Look at Freeside. Look what happened to it when he came. If House was willing to work closer with the NCR than he is, I genuinely believe that the humanity in this series could go into fantastic places. Or maybe the followers, actually. But you look at Freeside, and you look at what happened there and the people that are suffering there, and you see the real problem with House's leadership. House cares about humanity in a very general way. House cares about, in 100 years, humanity is better than where it is now. For the poor, it's better, right? And for the rich, it's better. But for the poor, it's still not good. And in those 100 years, the people who aren't in the upper echelon are suffering. And he doesn't care. He's not like he's abusing them. It's not like he hates them. But he just doesn't care. They're not useful to him. They don't have the money to spend. He can't help the economy. They can't develop things. And it's a fair point for him to make on a ideological level. Like, he just wants to drive towards a better future as fast as possible. And he's willing to cut out any of the civilians that aren't going to help. Right? I'm not. Those people matter to me. Every person matters to me. And those people that are suffering in Freeside matter to me. And if House continues to drive forward, Vegas will be strong. But everywhere else is still going to be desolate. So what kind of humanity are you going to have left to go to this new planet? To evolve? What kind of humanity are you going to have left? It's going to be a smaller population. You're going to have people left behind in 100 years' time. I'm going to be one of those people left behind, as selfish as that sounds. But there's so many people that are going to suffer because of House. Not because he has malice towards them, just because he doesn't care. It's such a... I love House, because not only have you got that side where I love him, not only have you got the side that I hate him, he's got so many ideas, and it stimulates my thinking so much to think about what this could become. But it's so difficult for me to side with him. Because I don't feel like he does what's best, and I disagree with it. And I'm in a position where I could overthrow him, and have my vision involved. So it's not like I'm just like disagreeing with him. I could literally just do what I want to do, right? I could just take him out, and I mean, technically, I could take Vegas over myself and just initiate House's plan in my way. It takes slower. I wouldn't be around to do it, but I mean, it's an option. He's got a good point that democracy won't lead to as fast as progress. It probably won't lead to progress. But I do believe what the NCR has and what the NCR has built out in the West is a lot better than what House has built in Nevada. That doesn't mean to say I like the NCR, or that I'm going to side with them. But if you look at Nevada, Vegas is great. I love Vegas so much, and the history and the future of it. But the outskirts is what bothers me about House, and it's so bad, and it's that one little flaw, sorry if I'm rambling on, that I have a problem with. And for that reason, I am no longer going to be working with you, Mr. House. And I have no more questions for you, except for this one. What was Vegas like before the war?
It was a place of splendor. As magnificent as today's Strip may seem, it's but a shadow of the neon paradise that was Las Vegas. I grew up not far from here, and though I traveled the old world extensively, I never found another place like it.
You say, you know what, we know that. I think we know that. He activated some missile defense systems to save it. I don't want to talk to him anymore. Because I'll be on my way.
There's a job that needs doing here, and I'm assigning it to you.
No thanks.
I much prefer working with robots.
Sorry, House. It's I love House so much. I really do. But there's so many flaws with his plans that, you know what, I'm a human. It's not going to work for me either, but I just can't side with him when there's an option for me to take it on myself. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but Kaiser is not the right option. And, I mean, there's no turning back with the Legion right now. And as much as I hate to admit it, House isn't either. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love House, and I hope you guys enjoyed the last video we had with him. If you did, please leave a thumbs up, comment, I read them all. In the next episode, we are not going to go to Gamora. Instead, I've got a new idea. We're going to take the Strip back to front. We're going to head to the NCR Embassy and talk to Lisa O'Malley. We've already explored the NCR Embassy. Then we're going to head across to the other places in that sector. We're going to come forward, go into the Ultralux, gamble in the tops, but I don't know if that'll be on camera. Then head here and go into Gamora. And then we'll have covered the entire Strip in 3 or 4 videos. So, I hope you guys can join me then, and I will see you guys next time.